Hello guys, so you must have heard of property title and you must have heard of this particular property title, the deed of assignment. That is what we are going to be diving in this video. Get ready, buckle your shoe, sit down, remove all distraction and watch this video to the end. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. If you have any questions, drop your questions or anything in the comment section. Hello guys, so I'll be diving into this particular type of property title, the deed of assignment. Yes, if you check most listings, you are always going to see it. Just like how you see certificate of occupancy or you see governor consent, you will definitely see the deed of assignment. So you might be wondering, what is the deed of assignment? What is deed of assignment? Today, in this video, you are going to find out what the deed of assignment is all about and everything it entails. When you buy land or any property in Nigeria, what actually makes you the owner of that property, that land, is the deed of assignment. The deed of assignment is simply the transfer of ownership from one person to another, and that one person to another is usually from the seller to the buyer. So the deed of assignment is the transfer of ownership from the seller to the buyer, from Mr. Emeka to Mr. John. So under the eyes of the law, there are two kinds of person. We have the assignor and we have the assignee. The assignor is the seller and the assignee is the buyer. So when transactions are being done, the transfer of ownership of that land or property takes place. And now that land, that property will be transferred from the seller, that is the assignor, to the buyer, the assignee. So with this, I'm going to go straight into the definition of the deed of assignment. A deed of assignment is a legal document that officially transfers a land or property from the seller to the buyer. So it contains details such as who is buying, who is selling, the agreed price, and ownership rights, among others. So why is deed of assignment important? Number one, deed of transfer. It shows that the seller have given up and transferred ownership to the buyer. Number two, registration at the land registry. When registered, it shows publicly and legally that you are now the rightful owner of that land. Number three, future transaction. With the property title, the deed of assignment, you can now use that land for leasing. You can rent out that house that you have bought, or you can also use that land or that property as a collateral for bank loans, mortgages, among others. And lastly, number four, legal protection. You are protected in situation these days whereby somebody can sell a land to four people, same land. With the deed of assignment, that cannot happen to you because that land is legally recognized as a property, not just rightfully yours, or let me say the ownership is transferred to you, but it's legally, under the law, it is legally recognized and seen as your land or your building. Yes, the deed of assignment is very important. After God, the courts have the final say, and the law always favors people with the deed of assignment. Deed of assignment, the law already knows that that land belongs to you, because it is not just recognized by the seller or the buyer, it is also recognized by the law. The deed of assignment is an ownership of transfer and it is recognized by the law. I don't like ending my videos without giving an example because I feel like examples are more relatable and you'll be able to understand better. So I'm going to be giving a scenario of a man. Yes, so he sold a land and gave a receipt to four people, and that is Peter, and that is John, and that is James, and that is Andrew. But to Mrs. Bola, he gave her the deed of assignment. That already shows that all those other people, he just scammed them or frauded them. They are not valuable in his sight, but he have transferred his land ownership He has transferred his ownership right of that property to Mrs. Bola. So if those four other people now come and meet Miss Bola and be claiming that that land also belongs to them and they go to court, I want you to know that court only favors those that they know, and not because they know Bola. It is the document that she have that they know, and that document is a legal document that is usually attached for the ownership of a property. The deed of assignment is a legal document. So when they go to the court, all of them present their receipt and the court check and see what they recognize. They are the law and they recognize what belongs to them, and the deed of assignment belongs to them. It's one of their documents. It's a legal document that prove ownership of a property. When they check, oh, you have this is recognized, it is officially recognized by the law. So yes, so who will win the case? Of course, it is Ms. Bola. So a deed of assignment is a proof of ownership transfer from one person to another, and that person is the seller to the buyer. In law terms, they will use the assignor and the assignee. A valid deed of assignment must contain the name and addresses of both the buyer and the seller. It must also contain the description of the property, such as the location, the size, the survey, among others. Very importantly, it must have the history or the root of the property title. And lastly, it must have the transfer date, the agreed purchase price, governor consent, and both the seller and the buyer signature. So buying a land or a property without the deed of assignment is like buying a car without the change of ownership papers. Just imagine you buy a car without the change of ownership papers. Yes, you go ahead and drive the car, you can drive the car, but it still belongs to the previous owner. So before you drop millions on any property, demand for a deed of assignment. Ensure a lawyer to review it and register at the State Land Registry. The deed of assignment is your legal shade. It tells the world this property is mine now.